Right, what's happening, people, and welcome back to the Joey Knight podcast. Now, I need you lot to do me a favour. At the end of this video, if you like the content and you want to see more like this from myself, please hit the subscribe button and also click the bell. So tonight, we're going to see Chelsea take on Fulham out in America in our penultimate game before we cap off the pre-season next week against Borussia Dortmund. And let's be honest, in pre-season, so far, so good. Whether you buy into what you see in pre-season or care about what happens in pre-season, you can't deny that Chelsea have looked a lot better in this pre-season than we were looking at the end of last season. I would urge you to get yourself in the mind of a Chelsea fan, yeah? We've been starved of success, a good feeling around the club, any good news in general around the team that we support. And now, going into this pre-season, a lot of change, a lot of new players in there, new manager in there, and we're liking what we're seeing. The football so far does look good. And because of that, it's hard to not get excited. But tonight's game will tell us a lot more than we already know. So far, we put Wrexham to the sword. Then we had a good win against Brighton, who are obviously a team that finished above us, did a lot better than us in the Premier League last season, and then the draw against Newcastle. As I say, I thought we were the better team in that Newcastle game, but tonight we take on Fulham, and I don't know whether I'm being greedy here or whether this is overly optimistic, but I think tonight's the night I want to see us go and absolutely smash Premier League opposition. Now, Fulham are a very decent team with a good manager, but if we are going to go on to do what I believe we can do this season, which is challenge for Champions League spots, we do probably need to be tearing a team like Fulham apart. Obviously, ultimately, it is pre-season. What these matches are about a lot of the time is the players coming back, getting to know each other, gelling, but most importantly, getting match fitness. And for that reason, there'll obviously be a whole load of substitutes at halftime. And when you make that many changes and tinker with a system that much, it's hard to have a pretty much executed game plan over the course of a match. But I do think Mauricio Pochettino's men are going to play some good football tonight. Anyway, before I get into the team that I want to see line up against Fulham tonight, it's a good time to remind you, I am going to be live streaming the game tonight. So obviously no footage of the game, but my reaction, I'm going to be live streaming it from, let's say, 7:30 tonight on my YouTube channel. So if you're not going to watch the game, you want to watch my reaction to it, join me tonight to watch it together. Right, let's go Kepa in goal. Right back, Malo Gusto. I want the centre-back pairing to be Thiago Silva and Levi Colwill, and then obviously Ben Chilwell at left back. In the midfield two, I want to see a pairing tonight of Enzo Fernandez and Reece James. Now, I myself, and I know for a fact a lot of you lot have wanted to see Reece James in midfield for a little while now, and to be honest, the more that this Caicedo saga drags out, the more I'm starting to think that we do need to look at other options. I am not saying that Reece James is a like-for-like Caicedo replacement, but what I would say is, if we can't get Caicedo, I think we should try out Reece James in midfield, see how he gets on, at the same time as trying to find more cheaper alternative options to Caicedo. So obviously, from the moment that Reece James broke into the Chelsea team, there's always been those Trent Alexander-Arnold comparisons, and I know that recently we've seen Trent sort of moved out of that right-back position and put into a midfield position. He's done really well, but I am not basing the fact that I want to see Reece James in that position tonight just on the fact that Trent's done it. And obviously, a few of us saw Reece play midfield for Wigan when he was on loan there quite a few years ago, and he obviously always did a really good job there. But I'm more looking at a few matches towards the end of Thomas Tuchel's reign when Reece James was moved into that midfield position at times. And if I'm honest, I've always thought that suits him quite well. Obviously, Reece is very composed, good distribution on the ball. Not only that, we all know that Reece James has come with his fair share of injury problems, and I do think that moving him into a more central role might help us out with that a little bit. So look, it's not set in stone. I am not saying that I think Reece James now needs to be moved to central midfield and doesn't go back into that right back spot, but I do think that it's an option we should look at in this pre-season. And the forward line for me needs to be Mudryk left wing, and Nkunku through the middle, and Ian Maatsen on the right wing. Obviously, leading the line, it's got to be our new number 9, Nicholas Jackson. We're all getting really excited about this boy, and you know what? If he starts tonight, I'm telling you now, he will find the back of the net. I know that we're still in the market for a couple of signings. I've obviously gone on record as saying I think we need 1 or 2 through the door still, but we look at that 11 that I've just put out there, and that is a good side, isn't it? And I don't want to single out any individual players because it is about how the team performs, but there are a few of our stars that I will be keeping a keen eye on tonight. The first of those is Kepa. So all indications are now that Pochettino is going to go forward with Kepa as his number 1 this season, and whether you get behind that decision or not, if that is Poch's decision, we have got to support him. I've gone on record before as saying that I do think maybe we need to explore other alternatives to Kepa. I don't know whether we're just waiting for it to happen with Kepa and it sort of hasn't. What I do think is maybe we thought the ceiling was really, really high with Kepa and he could go on to be a world beater and Alisson and Ederson in that department, and he hasn't lived up to that. But what I would say is he's still a top-level goalkeeper, do you know what I mean? I just think that maybe as Pochettino's reign goes forward, we might see Kepa phased out and we might see him bring in a new number 1 between the sticks. But for now, if he's sticking with Kepa, I just want to see how he gets on in this new Pochettino system. We saw him play the other night against Brighton. did ship a few goals, but at the same time, it's not like they were down to individual error, so I'm not going to be too harsh on him. I just want to keep an eye on him and see how he gets on. Levi Colwill is also, if he starts, another player that I'm very excited to see. I didn't actually think he played all that well against Brighton, but he didn't play bad, and look, he's always calm, composed, good judgment, splitting balls through the line, so I just want to see how he gets on. I know that Buddy Ashill's coming back from injury, so there's going to be competition for that spot between the two of them, but I would like to see a nice, assured, composed performance from Levi Colwill tonight. Now, obviously, up top, rightly so, a lot of the eyeballs are going to go straight onto Nicholas Jackson. He's looking really exciting. He's coming, he's scoring goals, and we as Chelsea fans have been absolutely dying for years for a number 9, whether he wears the 9 shirt or not, to come to our club and start putting 20 goals in a Premier League season in the back of the net. It's been far and few between for us. We haven't had anyone like that in a very long time, so I'm really hopeful with Nicholas Jackson. But the man that I want to pay more attention to up top today is Christopher Nkunku. It's worth noting, Nkunku has scored just as many goals as Nicholas Jackson in pre-season so far, but I think it would be fair to say Nkunku hasn't really took off in pre-season the way that Nicholas Jackson has. Now, maybe it's because we might have had higher expectations of him. Obviously, I know for myself, I didn't have very high expectations of Nicholas Jackson. So, look, pre-season is what it is. It's not to say that if Nkunku doesn't play well and doesn't do much tonight, he's not going to do anywhere near as well as maybe Nicholas Jackson, who might play well. We really don't know until that first game against Liverpool. But although he's put the ball in the back of the net a couple of times now, he's looked composed and he's looked good when he has played, I do want to see a little bit more of Nkunku tonight. I want to see him impose himself on Premier League opposition. Let's be honest, tonight we need to be going out there and we need to be beating Fulham well. I rate Fulham, but I can't just say that because of last season they finished higher than us, they're a team that I've got to respect all that much. I want an old school mentality going into this season where we don't overly respect teams. We don't look at teams and go, they played better than us last year, so, you know, I just want to go in and put teams to the sword now. That is what I want to see tonight. Very hard for me to give a pre-match prediction, but if I'm going to do it, I am going to say 4-1 to Chelsea. I want to know what you lot think. Also, if you made it to the end of this video, you're obviously going to notice that I'm not in the studio today. I've bought enough stuff here to have a little home setup. I know that it's not going to be the exact same quality as the studio that I'm normally recording from, but I do want to be quick to get stuff out for you lot now. So obviously the Premier League season's coming back. I want to be quick to get my content out so I can react really quickly to the games as soon as they've happened and get something uploaded for you lot. So please let me know what you think of this setup. Is the sound quality good? Does the picture quality need a bit of adjustment? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As soon as this video goes up, I will be in the comments. I'll be trying to respond to all of you. So let me know your thoughts on tonight's game and I will see you all in the next one.